Hello, Mooji.
Hi. Hello.
I have a question about spiritual seeking.
Okay.
And I'd like to share something with you first.
Yes.
Because I watched a video of Ian McNay on Conscious Television, and he was talking about a man, and I don't know his name anymore, and he was... this man had an experience of liberation,
Yes.
and he didn't know what it was,
Yes.
because he wasn't a spiritual seeker.
Yes.
So he didn't know what it was,
Yeah.
and he wanted to find out. So he went on searching for people like himself who had the same experience, and he found quite a lot of people. And he decided to write a book about it, and he interviewed those people, and what he found out was that 75% of the people were not spiritual seekers. They were just gardeners or housewives or students, and they had this experience. Mm-hmm. And so they didn't went on the spiritual journey.
Yes.
Like I do and everyone else here. Mm-hmm. But of course everyone is seeking, but not everyone is a spiritual seeker. Mm-hmm. And my question is, because hearing that, there was a kind of resonance, this kind of intuitive recognition that I don't need to search, it's pointless. So I am and apparently I have to be here, but it's kind of strange. It feels kind of strange to be here, because, searching isn't really required. This is what felt here. And still, the search goes on in me, because there's a strong me still there, of course.
Yeah.
And but I also sense, although there's a strong sense of me, there's a kind of relaxation. I'm sitting here, but I don't have to be here. I am here, and that's why I'm here. But if I go out and walk, it can have the same effect. And I was wondering if you can talk to me about this.
When he said that, according to what you've read, that this person then went around and then spoke with other people who've had the same experience, were they established in that experience?
Yes.
Or was it like an experience?
No, they were established, like Tony Parsons and... Richard Sylvester, all those kinds of people who are established. Byron Katie.
Yes. The kind of neo-Advaita.
But not. I don't know. He mentioned a few, but he talked about.
Yes.
He interviewed a lot of people, so I cannot say much about it, but it triggered me.
Yes.
Just listening to it.
Yes.
And I was wondering.
Yes.
Because. Well, now
what I will tell you...
I feel so helpless now, as if I don't really can do anything anymore to be liberated.
Well, I am here to tell you that yourself is liberated. And now you must only become conscious of it. You understand? There's some misconceptions about that, and there are people who like to tell you, oh, there's nothing you can do. And I said, well, you can find out who you are. This is what this is about. There's nothing you can do. If a teacher tells you there's nothing you can do, and just leave it, there's nothing you can do about it, then he needs to ask you, who are you? Who can do nothing? You must find out. Because if someone tells there's nothing you can do about it, then it can leave you with a state of deep sense of frustration. There's nothing I can do. When it's a natural thing, if there's an urge inside you to inquire, to find out, then, but there's nothing you can, so just forget about it.
But after being on such a long journey already, I'm a sannyasin of Osho, and I can name a lot of things I've done, and they were not effective. They are effective for a period of time. What a man, the first man I was talking about, he's meditating,
Yeah.
and it's a great experience. You know, I had beautiful experiences,
Yes.
but the me did experience. It is still experience of the me.
Yes.
So,
And what is
I'm-
aware of that? What is aware of this me who had those experiences and ended those experiences and still didn't get it? What isn't all of that a story being told of something that passed? But what observe that? Is that also passing?
Well,
This is what you
if
need
I
to
answer you, it comes from the me. You know, I would say it's nothingness. It cannot be named. You know, it's
but you see, again,
But it's
your
not-
words also have no power.
no, they have no power, and
Yes.
I realize that.
Yes.
You know, because it's not felt here.
Yes.
It's
Because
it's
you have not
knowledge.
because also you have not really understood in that way that I'm speaking. You have not understood. Because maybe for many people they feel that maybe an intellectual understanding is enough. It is enough. And they have a grasp. There are many people who have a very powerful grasp of what we call truth. They have the sense of what it is. Yes? But still, when you really meet them and you speak with them, you sense there's still a person there.
Of course, but
Okay?
I know.
Even the ones who
Yeah.
are maybe writing books also and holding seminars and everything also still carry strong personal, so there's still that still living there and they're still saying there's no person. But they are still person in a way, you see?
Yes,
So don't
yes.
say that, okay, because you have read that means that is sufficient as evidence
No.
that so many people are awake necessarily.
No, this is maybe
Yes.
why I'm here, because it's so
Yes.
frustrating that I
Yes.
know it's an intellectual knowledge.
Yes.
I know. It's
It
like,
can be, yes,
You know,
it
it's
can
like
appear.
you can sense, you resonate. When you talk, it's something is resonating,
Yes.
but.
Please come up here and talk to me. Thank you. Please. Continue.
Yes. Well, there is a sentence I read, and
Yeah.
that's it's the title of a book,
Yes.
and it's called "I Hope You Die Soon."
Yes.
And well, that's my biggest wish.
Yes.
And it's said in the book, just like you pointed, I can do it now, just here, right now.
I
But
don't say you
no.
can do it
No,
necessarily
I
in that
cannot,
way,
yeah.
but what I'm saying, and I want you to really listen
Yes.
and to give this a chance now. Where I emphasize understanding now, not just a mental understanding, because when it is revealed in you, you will know it's not just a mental understanding. And it's not a belief itself. You see? And don't spend any more time with these type of books. I would tell you. Throw them out.
But can I do that, or because then
Who
the
is
sense
I?
of
Who is I as you speak now? Establish your identity for me, what you speak.
well, I feel that I am being done. You know, if you say throw out the books, I go home and just read the books.
Yeah.
You know, and I do understand what you say, but it's like I'm being done. It's the same with meditation. You know, I do meditate,
Yeah.
and then there's great resistance to meditate, and I don't want it, and I don't do it anymore.
What I'm speaking is something so beyond that, so simple. Because all you're talking about is still your phenomenality, and the one who is doing these things. I meditate so much, I've read all these books, and I say, yes.
it doesn't work.
But the reading of all these books, the meditating in that way, you know, with still the I who is meditating, and I try this. I have had so many experiences, of course, because the I itself is also an experience. And the I itself is having experiences. The idea we have of who we are is suffering from other ideas it has about itself. The idea we have of who we are is suffering from other ideas and projections it has about itself. observed in that immutable and unchanging field we call pure awareness itself. You are to recognize that as we speak. To look that what you speak about now is something, yes, this thing has been happening and that thing has happened, it's happened, and then I found this and I still don't know and I don't believe and perhaps it's not going to, all of that for me is nothing now. The evidence that the egoic mind or identity places forward is irrelevant at the place of truth. We have been so much fed on this idea, bang on the head, bing, awakening. But all are yawning, sneezing, twisting and turning in your process of awakening to this unchanging truth that you are. There's something there. There's something there. For some people, perhaps who have never had any idea of being a spiritual person, coming from spiritual background or religious background, but yet somehow the consciousness, the mind may be in such an open space that somehow recognition of the self happens so casually and so easily. Another one may be practicing intensely and still somehow seems blocked. We cannot say. But what is for sure is that the consciousness brings gatherings together to explore and to discover more and more, each according to their capacity. And if I felt also that it was not possible to come to that seeing, because it's not that you're going to do something, you're going to succeed or fail, because that which is beyond success or failure. It already is. It is what we already are. But the idea we have of ourselves seems to prevail and seems to be the one who carries all the energy of identity, and this is what we are. But for me, all this is watched in the space of the awareness itself. You see. Only that has to be recognized somehow, and it begins to melt down. The virility of that idea, of that identity is melting out. Where would you say you're at? How would you describe yourself?
Sitting.
Yeah?
Sitting.
Yes.
And I'm watching.
Yes. If you're only aware now, I ask, how would you describe yourself? You say, just sitting and watching somehow. If that's all there was, that right now, if I had to report, I would say somehow I have a sense I'm sitting here just watching. No further identity, actually. I am noticing that things simply appear. They happen through my senses, but casually they come and go. Everything come and go. Sometimes the attention wants to follow them, but I'm not even my attention also, because I'm aware of the moving of attention. Then who are you here? Who are you, or what are you that even sees seeing? We're only confirming, not creating. That even the ability to perceive is itself perceived. And this is the most natural thing. Nothing supernatural about what I'm speaking. Don't touch any identity.
It's almost scary, ordinary.
Yes. Scary for who? Who is scared by it?
For the me, of course.
Yes.
Because it has an fixed idea about liberation.
Yes.
You know, that it's full of joy and there's no pain. But it's
Yes.
just
This me,
sitting.
listen, we are coming to a close for the moment. Listen, this me sense, persistent as it is the only thing that has to be transcended. The influence of the me for you. And somehow the confusion that arises, and even the sense of confusion that is believed in also. What remains? Everything that is being said somehow has arisen in your consciousness. The intellect is looking through to say, okay, yeah, this sounds fine, I'm not sure about that. That also is seen. Then fear comes. Fear that, oh my God, you know, like, what's going to happen if I go further? Hold on a second. You know, that also is seen. From where is it seen? And by what is it seen? All what I'm speaking is already so. It is already a fact. Only now to see if you can confirm. Do you follow? We are not here creating so that you may make a more impressive creation than this one. We're not talking about your talent, your gifts. I'm speaking only about that which you cannot not be. I want to show you, because so much of these writings you're hearing about, they're proliferating all over now in the name of Advaita Vedanta or Advaita. Oh, nothing you can do, there's nothing you can do. I want to show you something. Who is the you that they're referring to? If it is only the ego, then the very statement is acknowledging that you are just the ego. I say you are not ego. That is already the trouble. We are easily identifying as ego. If it says there's nothing you can do as the ego, but you are not the ego, then at least there's more truth, there's more space in this. But to say there's nothing you can do.
Is there a reason that you never say what we really are?
I cannot say what you are because it would only come across as a concept for you. And you are more than and beyond the concept. And you have to find it out today. And then we can go and have lunch.
Yeah.
There's no reason why not. All that you say you are not. All that you say you are not. All that you can perceive, imagine, conceive, you're not. They bear some relation to your consciousness, because without consciousness, they cannot even appear. But you cannot say definitively, I am that. It doesn't make even sense. Even if I could appear as Lord Krishna in front of you, look, but you're not. Witnessing of all these things is occurring to you. In your presence, it is taking place. Who are you? Even the idea you have of yourself, personality, all these you can describe because they have a phenomenality about them. But you, can you be seen? What remains? Everything you have presented as offering, I say no. Oh, but all my experiences, Mooji, yeah, thank you. But my faith, very good. My projections, my study, all my experiences, thank you. What is it that's not a possession? What is it that's not a possession? It cannot be gotten rid of. It cannot be swept aside. Even sweeping aside the most precious thing takes place in front of it. Even the removal of the hands which are moving aside also is perceived in it. No one gives value to this. Even the one who gives value to this is also perceived. It is not a riddle. Riddles also are perceived. It's nothing your imagination can produce. Wrong time to leave. Attend to what I'm pointing. Discard all these things. What this person say about it, what that person say about it, what you think, what I don't think, leave all this now. All your ideas, all your opinions, all belief for a moment, leave everything aside. They are not original to you. Leave everything. What remains now? Which cannot be left aside. Who will there be to leave it aside? No. I call this missing the obvious thing. If I say right now, yes, right now, it can be clear for you in your heart, not as a passing experience, not as a taste, not as the fading experience. That which is untouched by any concept or conditioning or any functioning. To what am I referring now? And I'm not waiting for your words to say what. I'm looking to see when that recognition take place in you. Not your words. This is what you can do. Inquire. Be available for this. What stands in the way? What stands in the way? Nothing for you to create, nothing for you to imagine, nothing to visualize, nothing to remember, nothing to forget, nothing to find. Just recognize what is here. Who are you? If none of this, I say, I have come to meet you, each one. I've come to meet you. Present yourself. You offer me the flowers. Thank you, but thank you. Personality. Your acquisitions in your study, your certificates, your meditation. What is left? Come to this place where all concepts fall down now for you. They become nothing for you. Now when you say, I'm the absolute, I am pure consciousness. I'm pure love. What is left? What is left that cannot be offered? Offerings are made to that. That is your holiness. That is your sacredness. Here you're beyond all titles even. Do not give this to your mind. No one has been able to convey this. Only point to it. The rest you must confirm for yourself, you see. You cannot speak about it. You cannot show it. And yet, when somehow you come to this place, I can be nothing but this inside your heart, many will know you. They will see you. They will feel your presence. You don't have to speak anything. Out of the pores in your body, the evidence of truth will shine from you. It's not your words. You're here. You're here. You're here. The rest of what you have to talk about are secondary. Yeah. Don't go to the past. Don't touch the past. Nothing to be afraid of, but don't go there. Don't touch time. Time says, everything you see here belongs to me. But it cannot touch this. What is happening? Very good. Okay. Very good. I want to encourage everyone who feels somehow that what you have heard or what you're feeling resonates on some level, that feels, I want to go more deeply into this, I want to come home. This is really about my own self. Give your full attention to that. let this life be for freedom. It's not that somehow you're suddenly going to vanish and you're gone somehow. But to be free from the whole regime of thinking and the limitations that we somehow embrace, willingly or unwillingly, to release your own Buddha nature, or Christ consciousness, Shiva being, whichever way you want to call it. Know this is possible, and it is timelessly present and available within your own self. Satsang is for this. Not primarily here to teach you some new things, not this, but discover this thing. Truth can only be discovered, cannot be learned, not like that. Discover this thing. Then it's not something that you have, but what you are, not what you have. Truth cannot be a possession so that your mind can become proud. Oh, I know this. Oh, I have done that. Not this. What you are, not what you have. Can I have some music from you today? Would you come?